welcome to this introduction to Devarim on the Tabletopia website. The first thing you'll want to do after following the link to the play zone is to put in a name here and hit play as guest. Once you have all your players and you've sent a link to everyone they've joined, you can start the game. Then it will take some time to load. And here we are. You can see that Tabletopia will give you the option to take this tutorial. It will show you what the shortcuts are for various things. There are many of them and it takes a little while to get used to. On this side we have the playing grid, the drawed pile, the discard. Here we have the vowel tokens, the final form letters. This is the zone for playing out a word, and down here in very small tokens are the counters, and if you want to see them larger, hover over one of them, hit spacebar, and it will come up and you can adjust it like so. You can hit spacebar again. To play the game, each player will take turns searching for words in this grid, and the words should be formed out of contiguous letters that can be horizontally, vertically, or even diagonally, but they should be touching in some kind of a group. For instance, we might take these three letters here and set them out over here to spell devash, the word for honey. For that we need a dagesh in the dalet. So we can hover over the dalet and hit the F key on the keyboard to flip the card over. Then all we need to do is add the vowels that we need. De, vash. Like so. Players score 1 point for each letter card. So here, 3 cards. We would hover over here, add 3 points, and then we can clear the stack. The neat and tidy way to do it is to return them to the pile. To do that, you have to wait until it turns orange, and then let go. And then you can set these into discard. Once you have one of them in the pile, you can hit shift and drag. Then you can collect more than one at a time, and then you can do the same thing. Add these to the stack. The next thing is to refill the grid from top to bottom and from right to left. We might spell another word here, needing a final noon. Could spell ticane. Check or examine. Here we need a final noon, so instead of taking that one, we do remove it from the grid, but then we just borrow final noon. We go flip that by hitting the F key on the keyboard. We'll need to flip this as well to get dagesh. Take a chirek from the pile. And etzere. We've got our word ticane. This again is 3 points. We can hit the space bar to get this in the larger view. Add 3 points. Hit space bar again. When we're done with the noon, we put it back. And we return the vowels and the consonants as before. And we refill the grid like so. You can get a view of anything in particular by clicking and dragging the screen. You can move that around. You can zoom in and out. At any time, you can return to the original camera view by right-clicking, going to camera view and hitting this number 1 here. It will return you to the centered view. If you're ever in a situation in which you need to refill the grid, but the draw pile is empty, you can select the discard pile, move it over to the draw pile, right-click on it, and reshuffle it. and then you are set to continue playing. To make the game easier to use, I have set magnetic maps into this play area. That's why each of these has a green rectangle on it. It makes them a little bit easier to place, so they will snap into place when it's mostly over the green rectangle. The same is true for the tiles. There's small magnetic maps behind these letters. So once this is mostly over the center part, the vowel tile should snap into place. And that is true for most of the letters, top and bottom. Sorry, that was a column. Let's put it over here. And we'll put the chirek over here. And it will snap into place. There are some exceptions. The kof has no magnetic map underneath, and the sin, the shin, and the lamed has no magnetic map at the top. And that was because it would, if it was snapped right into the middle, it would obscure some part of the letter. And I thought that players would perhaps more easily just decide for themselves where they wanted that to go. That is it for this tutorial. If you are finished with the game, you can click up here and either restart the room or close it.